Aloha and welcome to day 2 of the Freedom Queen Challenge. If you haven't jumped on and seen day 1, do that first and then come back and join me for day 2. If you're live, say hi. If you are joining me on the replay, you can hashtag replay. So this has been a lot of fun already just in day 1, and I've been receiving beautiful messages from queens who are charged up and just loving the vibe of what is going on here. So today we go a little deeper. Yesterday we crowned the vision. And today we're going to go a little deeper, a little bit of a dive, because it's beautiful to have the big visions and the momentums to move forward towards. But of course, as we move forward to what is coming and what is next and what is new, and as we expand and we grow, the old stuff comes up. That is normal and natural. And so today's focus is about dismantling the old paradigm. Today is about lovingly releasing, blessing, thanking all that has served to this point that is no longer needed on the journey forward from here. This is deep, powerful work. And when you get to the part where you are ready in your life to say thank you so much for all of those pieces that have done exactly what they needed to do in my life at that point, but you no longer serve me in my next steps. You no longer need to accompany me. In fact, there are parts of you that are limiting me from where I need to go. This is how we begin to lovingly dismantle the old and welcome in our new levels of expansion and growth. So are you ready? Are you ready? Take a few deep breaths with me. We're going to do this again today. I want you to focus on that beautiful crown of yours, whether you are wearing a crown or whether you imagine your crown in place. Either way, you don't need a physical crown because Queen, you have your crown. Yeah. So breathing in and imagine that beautiful golden shimmery light. Breathe that all in through your crown. Let it just sizzle and fizzle and move all the way through your fingers, down to your fingertips, down to your toes, down your spine. Feel it through every part of your body, activating all of you, alive, abundant, present. And breathing that out, breathing out anything that doesn't need to be here in this moment. You can even shake it out, right? Take a couple more breaths like that. Breathe that all in nice and deep into your belly. Release, 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 release. One more. And release, 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 release. Let that move through. So today we're going to talk a bit about the stories that we have inherited. And this might touch a little pain point for some, and that's okay. Because we need to go there, Queen. It's all right. You may have your pen and paper out. If you don't, grab something quickly. I want you to bring to mind what are those stories that you have inherited through your lifetime that have served you in a way. Perhaps it has helped you build your life to this point. It's given you a certain work ethic. It's given you a certain conduct in life. It's given you a certain strength and a mode. What are these stories that you have had that aren't your own, right? You've picked them up. You picked them up from family. You've picked them up from society. You've picked them up somewhere along the way, and they just don't quite feel aligned or resonate anymore. And I'll give you some examples here. So one of them, for example, that aren't quite in alignment with that queenly vibe of, of flow and abundance and ease and grace and all those beautiful things. One of them is, I got to work really hard to earn good money, right? I got to work. I got to slog away. Keep going, keep working, keep harder, keep at it, right? That kind of messaging, very common. What about being a woman or being a mother and messaging about being a mother? Mothers have to be a particular way. They have to look a particular way to be a good mother, a good mother. What does that mean? A good sister, right? Maybe you've been in women's circles. Maybe you've had, wounds from those sister circles. I've met a lot of women who have sister circle wounds, right? What are some of the messaging that has been coming across to you of what, conducting yourself well or beautifully or, goodly in that crowd that no longer serves you anymore? It's simply not in alignment with where you are at now and where you want to be. I want you to write these down. Success. What have you been told about success? That to be successful, you have to sacrifice, for example, or success equals burnout, right? Write these messages down. What about women can't have it all? Women can't have it all, right? What are the messages? What are the stories that have somehow infiltrated their way into the deep recesses of your mind and lodged themselves in there some way so that it's made you conduct yourself in a particular way? This is the moment to pluck those stories out and look at them. Pluck it out and look at it, right? Critically. Do you serve me? Are you really the story I want to be telling myself? Is this the program and the frequency that I want to be running on each day? And if not, put it down on that piece of paper. Call it out. Pluck it out, pull it out, and call it out from the recesses of your own psyche. Because these are the parts, Queen, that no longer serve you. And unless you become aware of them and conscious of them, unless you pull them out, they will continue to run the record in the back of our mind unconsciously, and we will continue to behave from those places. So this is your opportunity today. Pluck those out, make them clear. Where do you get blocked in your life again and again and again? Because I know you know the patterns. I know you're self-aware. I know you know those patterns. And so behind that pattern, underneath that pattern, what is that underlying story? Pluck those out. Write those down. Good. Because this is not your truth anymore. This is not your truth anymore. You get to step forward into a new paradigm for yourself, an elevated way of being, an expanded way of being for yourself. And if you do not pluck these pieces out, you will remain hostage to them as you attempt to open your wings and grow and stretch further into the new places. These dark pieces will pull you back because they're so familiar. So pluck them out. Write them down. They do not serve you in your next step moving forward into your next chapter in life. And maybe that's even an old crown that you were wearing that you now put to the side as you choose something new to place onto your head, right? A paradigm shift is a frequency. It's an energetic shift. It's an entire being shift. We cannot operate within an old paradigm frequency and just hope, otherwise it will always just be an aspiration, a vision, something over there that we want, but we won't be able to get it because we're not aligned to it. We're not in the frequency of it. So we must put these pieces lovingly aside. Thank you very much for all that you have served in order to embody and be the frequency of the new paradigm that you have visioned yesterday, the vision that you crowned yourself with yesterday. That is a frequency that you are already calling in, you have already activated. So your job today is to get those old pieces out of the way that no longer serve, that will block and hinder you from aligning with the frequency that you are already calling into your being. So this is our inventory for today. What beliefs are no longer serving me? What stories need to be lovingly released? This is your invitation to write them down. And once you write them down, if you want to share, you may, but if you want to burn those. I love burning. I love writing things like this down and having an intentional fire and popping them in and saying thank you very much. I once had the biggest bonfire, and I released patterns, old relationship patterns, layers and layers and layers and layers of them, all the way back to my father, back to the original male pattern in my life. Huge bonfire I had. I burnt all the things, the love letters, the diaries, the photos, so much from all of the people, but they were skeletons in the past and they no longer served. And it wasn't until I was able to do that that I could rise and match the frequency of the soulmate that I then was able to call in, who is the most incredible king in my life, right? This is what becomes possible. So we have to clear the way first. So do that, Queen. Your next level awaits you. Your path awaits you. You feel it. I know you feel it. So let it come to you. Meet it for yourself, for your own sake, for your family's sake, for those around you who are going to be impacted by the shifts that you make. Tag me if you do some posts, because I'd love to hear. Pop it in the comment what has come up for you, the biggest takeaways, and we will dive into day 3 tomorrow. I love you, Queen. Shine, shine, shine.